Hi, what's going on?
Well, I'm just starting to do the setup for the Moab March for Peaceful Gun Reform, which is going to be starting at noon here at the Moab Information Center. Thought I'd post a sign here. These have been posted all over town. They have been put on
When you finish,
Facebook.
I'll get a close-up of it.
Okay, very good. And we're starting with silver and ending with gold. And we've got our American flags, which I have American flags for the first 13 people to attend. In honor of the 13 flags that were available at Walker Drug, and in honor of the 13 original colonies of our United States of America. We have a wonderful community here. We're very community-oriented and community-based. Everybody are hard workers. And, you know, it's kind of interesting how life is. In America right now, everybody's scared. There's a lot of fear in the world about what happens with our Second Amendment, which if we all read the Second Amendment, we would realize that it was meant to have a militia to care for our people and for our country, but it was not meant to have the assault weapons available and out to the general public. So now there are positions in Congress and in the Senate looking at raising the age of purchasing a gun, having a 24-hour background check, and also doing things such as being able to look at the red flag laws on people that have mental illnesses or have had arrests because of gun usage that was used in the wrong way. I've had some interesting conversations this morning. First off, I met with a local here who was born and raised here, and her whole presence was regarding looking at what was going on with our Second Amendment. And if we read the Constitution and the Second Amendment, which I would encourage every person to do, you will see that this was meant for militia. And I understand that there are people who would prefer to have a gun for defense. Another friend, when I was picking up American flags, indicated that one of the reasons that people object to this, and I think there's two sides to every story, and then we need to come to the middle. But the two sides to every story on her part, which I was very interested in listening to, was that schools are gun-free zones. So people realize that a school teacher does not have a gun, and perhaps we don't have security and resource officers that can defend in the event that someone were to come into our schools. I have a personal indication about this, and part of mine is that my only sister was the first responder to Columbine. Call came into her superintendent, and she was the district student services director of Jefferson County School District in Denver, Colorado, in Jefferson County. And I received a phone call from my daughter-in-law saying that she didn't know what was going on in Denver right now, but that what she found was that the problem was that she turned on the CNN news, and Aunt Betsy had her hands clasped behind her back, her cell phone in her hand, and all of the students were following her out of the school. That is not right. In our country, we cannot have the kind of fear that we have. And I've spoken to people, a father with 5 children, indicated that he wakes up frequently with nightmares that perhaps his children will be gunned down, and movie theaters and churches, and it's not right. America needs to take a handle and make a difference in our lives, in the lives of our children, in the lives of our loved ones, in the lives of strangers. And I am hopeful that in today's march here in Moab, Utah, we will make a statement, that we will be heard, that we come together. We have had some visioning workshops, think tanks, and we are doing a concerted effort in our community to get a handle on what are the things that will form our future. We've had consultants hired by our city and county. We've had great news coverage by our Moab Times Independent, our Moab Sun News, and by our Moab Happenings. We have many, many very hardworking business people here. We are at a point of change in our community, and we need to take a handle and let our local voices be heard. We're going to be forming focus groups in August with the help of our consultants coming back, and we will be hearing the voices of anyone who wants to come forward and be heard in our community. We have a great volunteer radio station, all volunteer KZMU. We also have a country station, KCYN, and we have many, many wonderful resources. We have our hospital is state of the art, receives many, many awards. We have increased that. We have a Moab Free Health Clinic. We have a multicultural center addressing a lot of the issues and concerns of people from different cultures that come to service our community. I personally feel like Moab is in a position to take our village community and actually share with the rest of the world how things can be done in a community that works together. We don't always agree on every single point. I mean, my mother once said she didn't fight with my father. They often had differences of opinions. Well, I kind of had to smile and say, oh really? Doesn't everybody have a difference of opinion? But when we come together and talk and communicate, that's how we resolve the issues, and we have equanimity and unity in our world. And I would greatly, greatly hope that this is the start of a movement. You know, we had a lot of different things happening in our world, but today is a day where people are coming together on a national level, people are coming together on a local level, and people are coming together like in big cities. Salt Lake City was having a march for peaceful gun reform as well. And one of the most important things that I think is that people have asked, why orange? Well, 5 years ago, I was first, on the day of my sister's funeral, I was made aware of the march that People March for Our Lives was coming together after many, many, and way too many school shootings, church shootings, and all kinds of things that were going on that really, I wish we had nipped this in the bud before the loss of lives. And I do my best every day to attempt for the 4 agreements, but be impeccable with your word, don't make assumptions, don't take anything personally, and always do your best. And I've had people ask me why orange. Someone put on Facebook the reason for orange is because one of the ladies that was instrumental in beginning the March for Our Lives movement was gunned down a week after that was started, and her favorite color was orange. I was given a bouquet of orange roses yesterday from a young woman in my summer camp program. I'm a camp counselor. I'm a senior camp counselor. I'm 70 years old, and I really appreciated that little girl's insight. We talked about roses. Roses are a way of showing love. She came with a bouquet of orange roses, and we talked about the colors. And she came up to me afterwards. I didn't realize that orange was for joy. She gave me a bouquet of roses for joy. And she has recently lost her father and was struggling very greatly with that grief. So there's a lot of things that each and every one of us can do by having kindness, We need kindness and understanding in our world. And I do believe that if we had the kindness and love that each and every one of us can show to one another every day, we would make a huge difference in our world, and we would have a peaceful America that we could all live and be part of. Thank you for your time, and thank you for doing your part. We have a statement that shows up in our Moab Happening, or our Moab Advertiser, which is a local newspaper. Don't ask what your city can do for you. Ask what you can do for your city. Pray, pray, pray. We all have a creator. God bless.